friends, and welcome to Storytime for the week of November 1st, 2020. Do you know what's happening in our world this week? In our country? We're having an election this week, which is a super big deal, and a lot of grown-ups, maybe your grown-ups at home, have been kind of stressed out about it. And today we're sort of going to talk about presidents, but not directly. Presidents are our leader of our country, and we have one president at a time, and there's a new election for a new or returning president every 4 years. And this week, we have our election on Tuesday to decide who our president for the next 4 years will be. But we're not going to talk about presidents exactly today. We're going to talk about pets, because most of the presidents who have lived in our White House have had pets. And I even have a book about presidential pets to share with you today. And let's see. Do you have a pet? I do. I wish I had a picture of her to show you right now. Her name is Artemis Ruth, and she is a little tabby, an orange tabby, stripy tabby cat. Kind of like maybe like a Garfield cat. She eats a lot. She loves to eat, and she purrs, and she sleeps on my bed at the bottom of the bed and purrs and purrs and purrs, and I love her so very much. So do you have a pet at home? If you do, I would love to hear about your pet. You could come to the library and tell me, or you could post it on our Facebook page. You could share a picture of your pet. That would be wonderful. We're going to get started. We're going to start by singing How Much Is That Pet in the Window. We'll start with a dog. When I sing doggy, you can bark like a dog at home, or growl, I guess, if you wanted to. And then we'll move on to other animals, and you think about what sounds they might make, okay? Are you ready? You can sing with me if you know the song. How much is that doggy in the window? That's where you go, arf, arf. The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? Arf, arf. I do hope that doggy's for sale. Now I just told you about my pet. What was she? Yeah, kitty. How much is that kitty in the window? What do they say? Meow, meow. The one with the long whiskers. How much is that kitty in the window? Do I hear you meowing? I do hope that kitty's for sale. And we could do one more. Some people have very exotic versions of this pet. They have wings and they tweet. Did you say a bird? Yeah. How much is that birdie in the window? Tweet, tweet. The one with the flappity wings. How much is that birdie in the window? Tweet, tweet. I do hope that birdie's for sale. Oh, that's a fun song. I hope you were tweeting and meowing and arfing at home. I have a new book to share with you, and this is a relatively new book. It is. I don't know when it was published, I think this year in 2020. And it's called If You Want a Friend in Washington. If You Want a Friend in Washington, by Erin McGill. All right, here we go. Let me turn this so you can see my book a little better, okay? That was once a president. As the president, you are in charge of the whole of the United States of America. That is a lot of responsibility. Citizens might not agree with your opinions, ideas, or political party, whether Whig, Federalist, Republican, Democrat, or Independent. Many presidents hoped for a reliable and steadfast friend, a good friend. President Harry S. Truman once famously said, that's him right there, if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog. And a dog is what many presidents got. Look at all those different dogs who have lived in the White House. Lots of presidents have had dogs. Plenty of presidents found a friend in Fido. Abraham Lincoln's dog was actually named Fido, which is Latin for trust in or confidence in. But Lincoln thought life in Washington might be too stressful for Fido. So when he was elected, he found Fido a new home with a close friend. Fala, President Franklin Roosevelt's dog, held the esteemed title of Honorary Private in the United States Army. George H.W. Bush's dog, Millie, wrote a book for the First Lady Barbara. After Millie passed away, the Bushes showed their gratitude by dedicating a dog park to her in Houston, Texas, affectionately naming it the Millie Bush Bark Park. I like that, Bark Park. Barack Obama's dog, Bo, did not write a book for his owner, but there were plenty of plushie toys created of him. Everyone could snuggle a Bo. President Truman didn't follow his own advice, though. When a supporter from Missouri sent him a Cocker Spaniel named Feller, he quickly gave him away. Maybe a dog was not the kind of friend he had in mind. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a cat. And look at them. And a cat is what many presidents got. Look at all those cats. Lots of cats in the White House. Oops. Having trouble with the pages today. They're very thick. The first cats to take residency in the White House belonged to President Lincoln. He loved to rescue strays. Legend has it he liked talking to them. There he is talking. Dixie is smarter than my whole cabinet. And furthermore, she does not talk back. There were many Siamese cats in the White House. The first to arrive, Siam, was a gift from an American diplomat in Bangkok, Thailand, to President Rutherford B. Hayes. Bill Clinton's cat, Socks the cat, enjoyed perching on his owner's shoulders. Socks also did important therapy work, visiting students and senior citizens. You might think that when you are president, you can keep whatever kind of cats you want. Nope. The Sultan of Oman sent President Martin Van Buren 2 tiger cubs. Can you imagine? Tigers! Just as Van Buren was preparing for the tiger's arrival, Congress stepped in and said, no. The tigers were confiscated and sent to a zoo. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a more practical pet, like a horse. And a horse is what many presidents got. Let me make sure you can see all those. Look at all those horses. George Washington, our nation's first president, had very bad teeth. He went through many sets of dentures. Washington did not want his horses to suffer the same misfortune. As a result, he had a fastidious toothbrushing regimen for all his horses. There he is. He's going to brush their teeth. And he says, open wide. Excuse me. Before cars, horses were not just loyal companions, but also modes of transportation. John Adams, the second president and the first one to live in the White House, had extravagant taste and built small 12 stalls for his horses and their fancy carriages. When Adams did not win re-election, he left his horses and carriages to the incoming president, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson did not agree with Adams' politics or with his taste. This says reserved parking for Cleopatra and Caesar, property of the United States of America. That's funny. First Lady Jackie Kennedy's horse, Sartor, along with pony friends Tex and Macaroni, I like that name, found themselves in the middle of a scandal when protesters revolted against their wardrobe, or lack thereof. No saddles and shoes. They were completely nude. The horses, of course, did not care whether they had clothes or not. Nope. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should choose a pet that doesn't require clothing, like a farm animal. And a farm animal is what many presidents got. What do you see? Do you see chickens and goats and cows and sheep? Yeah. And pigs. President Woodrow Wilson put his pets to work to help the country during World War I. His flock of sheep nibbled at the White House grounds, keeping the lawns tidy so gardens could join the war effort. Gardeners could join the war effort. So instead of gardeners on the lawn, they had sheep to nibble the grass. Selling the sheep's fleece was very lucrative. It made money. Some of it was auctioned off to help the Red Cross. Some was used to make yarn to create products such as socks for soldiers. President William Howard Taft enjoyed fresh milk. A senator from Wisconsin thought the perfect gift for him was a cow. Her name was Pauline Wayne, but fans called her Miss Wayne. The bovine became very well known and even toured the country. One of her stops was at the International Dairyman's Expo in Milwaukee. People were so eager to try Miss Wayne's milk that once, when an agriculturalist spotted her grazing on the White House lawn, he decided to hop the fence and sneak a taste. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a bigger animal, one you can't sneak up on. Let's see what they got. And a bigger animal is what many presidents got. I see elephants, bears, alligators. Oh my goodness. What do you give a president who has everything? An alligator. Legend has it that the Revolutionary War hero, the Marquis de Lafayette, thought President John Quincy Adams might like an alligator. It is said that Adams kept the alligator in the bathroom and would show it off to his guests. President Calvin Coolidge was given a pygmy hippo by businessman Harvey Samuel Firestone. He was from Ohio. Yeah. Billy, as the hippo was named, was immediately donated to the National Zoo. He became a star exhibit at the 1939 World's Fair, and his descendants, his babies and babies' babies and babies' 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 babies, and so on, can still be found today in zoos across America. The prize for biggest pet, though, goes to a herd of elephants, a gift from the King of Siam. Is that how you say that? Siam? To President James Buchanan. The only problem, the elephants never arrived. When Abraham Lincoln, the next president, got word that the pachyderm parcel was en route, he politely declined the shipment and sent them back. So they didn't get there in time for President James Buchanan, and President Lincoln thought, what will I do with a herd of elephants? So he sent them back to where they came from. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a smaller pet, like a bird. And look at this. And a bird is what many presidents got. Do you see eagles? I see a turkey, a canary, little parrots. Birds. Oh my gosh. Keep turning too many pages. Mockingbirds were among the most popular fowl to grace the White House. President Thomas Jefferson had a few of these beautiful birds, but his favorite was named Dick. Dick had free range of the president's office. He just flew around. And Jefferson enjoyed harmonizing with him on his violin. President Abraham Lincoln signed an official proclamation to set aside the last Thursday in November as a day of thanksgiving and praise. We still celebrate that. In honor of the new holiday, someone sent Lincoln a turkey. Lincoln's son Tad took a liking to it, didn't want to kill it and eat it. He named the bird Jack and taught it to follow him around. One day, Tad and Jack interrupted a meeting to beg his father to save his new friend from becoming holiday dinner. Jack was the very first turkey to be pardoned, beginning a Thanksgiving tradition that continues today. Every Thanksgiving, whomever our president is will pardon the official Thanksgiving turkey, meaning he's not going to be eaten. Although we all like turkey, right? Oh, yeah. President Andrew Jackson owned an African gray parrot named Pole that had a really naughty mouth. He said bad words. Look at that. The president and Pole went everywhere together. Unfortunately, Pole outlived President Jackson and attended his owner's funeral and had a few things to say. The people were not very impressed. They said, "Please take that bird out." And such indignity and oh my word. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a quieter, smaller critter. And a small critter is what many presidents got. I see fish, rats, mice, raccoons. I think there's a badger in there somewhere. What do you see? Squirrel, beaver, rabbit, lots of things. Theodore Roosevelt had critters big and small. Some of his family's favorites were 5 guinea pigs. The president named them after people he admired, including Admiral Dewey, Roosevelt's horse riding companion and the highest ranking officer in the Navy. Admiral Dewey, Dr. Johnson, Bishop Doane, Fighting Bob Evans, and Father O'Grady. I think that's cute. The Roosevelts also had a couple of flying squirrels. They're neat. Their names have been lost to history. We don't remember them. But they were known to hide in the pockets of the Roosevelt children, just waiting for a lump of sugar to be fed to them. First Lady Louisa Adams, the wife of John Quincy Adams, found life difficult at the White House. But she sought comfort in some tiny companions. Can you guess what they are? Silkworms. They're silkworms that she kept on mulberry trees. She harvested their silk and spun it into fabric that she used in her sewing projects. What a neat pet. I've never had a silkworm. Have you? I haven't. Almost every president to call the White House home has found companionship and comfort in a pet, some kind of pet. Andrew Johnson was one of the few exceptions. Even though Johnson didn't officially have a pet, one day some mice wandered into his bedroom. The mice arrived while Johnson awaited charges of impeachment. He fed them flour from his family's mill, addressing them as little fellows. Watching their antics surely brought him peace and comfort during a difficult time. You see, what happens in impeachment is that's when the president is told he's done something very wrong. And then the next process is to possibly remove him. And so if you've done something very wrong, people typically don't want you to stick around. But he found comfort and friendship in his little mice. So after all, even if you're leaving Washington, you might need a friend. Yeah, definitely. And then at the back of this book, there are a couple of pages about more of the presidents and the friendship they found in their animals. And look, if you see these pictures, you can see what they actually looked like. I really like this book because It's nice to have a pet, isn't it? It's nice to have a friend. And I think that Erin McGill was very clever to put together such a wonderfully researched and thorough book about animals in the White House. Our friends, our national friends. Alrighty. I have a theme rhyme for you today. Are you ready? I went to the pet store and made a special wish. The pet that I wanted was a very special... What rhymes with wish? A very special... Yeah, fish! I went to the pet store. I went there at a jog. Think about what rhymes with jog. The pet that I wanted was a cute little dog. I went to the pet store. It become quite a habit. What rhymes with habit? The pet I wanted now was a soft and fluffy rabbit. Yeah. I went to the pet store. I'm sure it sounds absurd. Back at the pet store again. What rhymes with absurd? But the pet I wanted was a colorful, flying bird. Very good. I went to the pet store. It was no mistake. What I really wanted now was a hissy green snake. Very good. Do you have a snake at home? I would love to have a snake. I tell my children all the time if I could live life over, I would be a herpetologist, which is a scientist who studies snakes and lizards. I would. And amphibians. How cool would that be? All right, I have a very nifty craft for you today. We are going to make little dog hand puppets. You need a bag at home. And if you don't have a bag, you can just cut a piece of paper, okay? Or a paper plate. You can make a dog face on anything you want. Don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. And then I have some scrap paper. And I have, what else do I have? I have googly eyes and glue and scissors, all right? So let's see what we're going to make. The first thing I want to make is a tongue. You can draw these on your paper if you want, but I am just going to cut them freehanded, and I'm going to tilt my camera down so you can see me work, okay? There's my bag. Okay. Just going to cut a tongue. You can make your tongue any size you want. Or you could draw it on, too, if you don't have the paper. My tongue's going to go right there. Yep. That's where my tongue's going to go. And I'm going to put a drop of glue right on it. And I'm going to tape it to the top so that when I open up my puppet. So, there's my tongue. And the next thing after that, we need to cut ears and a tail. I think I'm going to cut my tail first. It's a nice long and skinny tail. Yeah, dogs have different kinds of tails, but I want mine to have a long and skinny tail. And I'm going to put that on the back, okay? So I need to put another little bit of glue. Might have to switch glues. This one's a little difficult. Little bit of glue and put it where I want it, which is right there. And now my dog has a tongue and a tail. All right. And next I need ears. Yeah. And my dog's gonna have long and skinny ears too. I'm going to cut that off. I fold because remember, if we need two things that look the same, we can fold our paper and cut one time. So I'm going to cut what I think dog ears, this dog's ears are going to look like. And I'm cutting my fold out of the way to make two pieces of paper. And I'm going to just give them a tiny bit of shape. And voila! I have two ears. And I'm going to put my ears right here. What do you think? I might just give those a little, yeah, that'll work. Okay. Alrighty. There's one ear. I'm going to stick it all the way out there. And there's another ear. And now my dog has ears, a mouth, and a tail. He's very cute. Get these things out of the way. Now I need a nose for my dog. What shape nose should we give him? Yeah, we'll just cut one and hope for the best. It's not quite a diamond shape, and what do you think? Would that be a good dog nose? Yeah, I think that's what our dog's nose is going to look like. There's our dog's nose. And last, do you see his ears, his nose, his tongue, his tail? Last but not least, he needs eyes. And I want my dog to have a black circular spot behind his eye, I think. You ever seen a dog like that? If I can get it to fit. I don't know if I can get it to fit with his ears. So I just cut out the best circle I could cut out. Oh, I think it's going to work. And I need to get a couple googly eyes. And I have googly eyes of every shape and size. See, these might be too big. No, I think those will work. I think those will work. All right. So, gonna glue down my spot, and then both eyes. There's one. And there's, oops, I dripped a little glue on my bag. That's okay though. And there's the other. And boys and girls at home, you can color your dogs. You can give them fur if you choose, or spots on their bodies. How neat would that be? Maybe you had a white bag at home and made a Dalmatian, or maybe you used paper. That's cool too. But there's my dog. And when this all dries, you can open it up. And I'm not going to open it all the way because it's not quite dry yet. Put your hand inside and make him talk like a puppet. How fun is that? I absolutely love this craft. I think it's cute as can be. Arf, arf, right? Like the doggy in the window. Alrighty, if you made the craft with me today, I really hope you'll share it with me. Bring it to the library so that I can see it. Or you could put it on our Facebook page. You could email it to me at april@janadenlibrary.org, and I would love to see it there. Or you could send a picture through our messaging system on Facebook as well, that would be great. I have missed you very much. I'm glad you tuned in this week. I can't wait until we can have Storytime in-house again and share more books and more songs and crafts and snacks together. Until then, we'll be doing this online every week. I hope you'll tune in. If you need any crafting materials, please call me at the library, 740-254-9224. I do have plenty to share if you would like to make a craft at home and you don't have what you need. I'd be happy to give you a little bag of materials to make your craft at home, okay? Until then, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.